I
I
did
didn't get a lot
not.
of snow. I got a ton of ice though,
Really?
like thick ice, like to where it's like one of those ones where you don't like want to walk under like a telephone pole or a tree because you're like it's literally showering
Over
down the
my
ice
head.
cube.
Yeah, in Michigan, we got absolutely railed with snow.
I did
Yikes.
not.
The
I got-
the part that was good, like the part that didn't get railed, or like I guess you could say the least railed, was 3 to 5 inches.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, no, I just got pure ice, which sucks. Just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Ice is literally the worst part of the snow.
Yeah, especially
I'll-
when it comes to driving.
Dude, so thankfully I didn't have to drive. And when I was walking Edgar though, he loves the ice. Like when he sees the ice, he sprints, like full sprints. And he doesn't care if he slides a little bit, but for the most part he doesn't slide because of his paws, you know? And dude, he was like I almost fell flat on my face a few times because he was just like full sprint. He's like 45 pounds and he runs like a million miles an hour. And then the leash, it's one of those retractable leashes. So once it hits like the 16-foot mark, it just like yanks me forward, and I'm just like, oh!
I mean, at that point, just let go of the leash.
My puppy
come back.
my puppy
back.
just hit 1, and she's never actually been in the snow. And so every time it snows, she barks like because she has no idea what it is, and she doesn't know if it's trying to kill her.
Dude, last year when it was Edgar's first snow, literally the very first day, he just jumped into it, like literally head first.
Well, yeah, I'm
He's
sure she
like-
is going to, but like my mom will not let us take her outside. She's scared.
Pee in the kitchen or what? You get like those puppy pads?
Well, yeah, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Taught her to
There's
pee in the
nothing wrong with
sink,
that.
yeah.
That's a real
But
question.
because she's only 6 inches
No,
tall,
I just
or six,
I wasn't
like 6
expecting you to
inches
mention, like,
total.
puppy pads.
So my mom's like terrified
is
that
that
like anything.
Are you
would
trying
be-
to say hamster?
She's got a
Trying to say-
giant hamster.
She's not much bigger than a guinea pig.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, you
Do
got.
you even
pinky
consider
up.
that a
Oh,
dog?
damn it. You got pinky up.
Oh, sorry, my bad. So with that being said, craziest snow stories is our first topic for today.
Oh man.
Who wants to run it?
I feel like
I don't have a crazy
I
one.
feel like
but I can
Blockie's got
start.
good ones because he's a car guy. So I'm guessing whenever it snows, you turn into a.
Oh no,
dog.
no, I'm not, no. I try not to drive in the snow.
Really? Every
Yes.
car guy I know is like, it snowed. Let's do donuts in front of Grandmaster's house.
Yeah,
You
let's go
realize
near
my-
the cliff.
My
Dude,
car, it will rain outside, and I'm 360ing. No, snow is
360 no scoping the gravity.
yeah.
You know what
Like
happens?
driving to
360
work
no shift.
yesterday, leaving my parking lot, I go sideways. So no, I don't drive in the snow. My crazy snow stories is me swanton bombing off a second floor deck.
What's
into the snow.
Swanton bombing?
Wow.
Yeah, you know, like Jeff Hardy, bro.
Oh, dude, I actually have a pretty funny snow story. It's not crazy, but it's funny.
Wow,
So my
way to
little
interrupt
brother-
Balake.
The
Oh,
story
nah,
was
I'm
over.
chill,
I
I'm
could
chill.
tell. See, yeah, I could tell he
I'm
was
chilling.
done. Take
You
relax.
guys are just connected like that. you
We're
just
never
know.
doing this on
Blockade.
Rudy's server again. He's already changed.
Blockade,
You're
Block
different.
and I.
Wait, I
we're
can fix
linked.
this.
You're different
We're
now.
linked. So,
I can fix this.
No, don't mess with anything, dude. We finally got the camera working.
I'm
So
joking.
we were at this was like a few years ago, and my little brother B2 Rutu. We were like at a movie theater. I don't remember who was with us, but I remember like right after the movie, there was like it snowed a whole bunch, and I said if you like dive through the arm rail right there into that pile of snow, like we'll go to another movie. And he just jumped right, he dove right in head first, like didn't even hesitate, just right into a big pile of snow.
Oof.
He's a big boy too. Like, imagine if he's off by just an inch or something like that. He's hitting the rail.
That's the thing that he's so big that if he hit the rail's going down, not him.
Oh, right.
What movie did you see?
I honestly couldn't remember.
It's
Few
probably a
years
Fast
ago.
and the Furious movie,
Was it good?
honestly.
There's probably a Fast and the Furious movie. Dude, every movie I've ever seen in the theaters has been good. I don't think I've ever seen a bad movie in the theaters.
Are you trying?
I've had movies I've seen in the theaters where I've like left, sat on it for like a
that.
day or two, and I've been like, that movie's bad, but I think it's because of the whole movie theater experience. You don't realize how bad it is in the moment.
In movie
Like
theater
every Star
experience
Wars
is
movie
expensive.
past episode
I'm-
7 or 6.
I'm terrible at going to movie theaters. I always fall asleep during the movies. Doesn't matter what movie it is, I've fallen asleep in Star Wars, Fast and the Furious, The Avengers. I've fallen asleep in almost every single movie. I went Deadpool.
Who falls
Never fallen
asleep
asleep.
during Deadpool?
Bro,
Falling
listen,
asleep in a theater surrounded by strangers, like picking their belly buttons.
bro. I was chilling back there with my feet kicked back, and I was just
Yeah,
out within like the first.
don't do that now. You're gonna lose that shiny new phone.
Oh no, you
So
don't
that
know where
shiny
I'm at.
phone,
You don't know where I live. You can't take my phone.
Pennsylvania.
Wait, I can't talk about it. You don't know where I'm at in
Right.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yes,
got him.
Little Leaves call.
yes, that is it.
Does anybody else have any not? I like made that topic thinking it'd be good and realized I don't really have crazy snow stories, except for when I was like, maybe like it was like freshman or sophomore year of high school. It was me, my girlfriend, my sister, her boyfriend, my best friend, and his girlfriend, and the girls dared us to take off all of our clothes down to our boxers and like belly flop it in the snow. And we did
That
it.
sounds fun.
And right when we hit the ground, we realized it wasn't snow. It was a very nice, thick layer of ice on all the snow.
Yikes.
And it was terrible.
That's the spirit.
Yikes.
And then
Dude,
the,
actually
Yeah,
do.
and then the
took it like a
bitches
champ.
locked us out.
Huh. That seems to be the common thing whenever that kind of stuff happens. You actually do have a good story.
Fell right
Actually,
into the
I
trap.
thought of a good one. So Tig knows the story. So it's when we were still going to high school. It was like junior or senior year, and it was snowing. And I got to school. I had to have been senior year because I was like getting to school late. And Tig was when I was in my blue truck, and I always park in the back. We always parked in the like back of the school parking lot, like farther away from the school, so we didn't have to park by all the idiots because it's just like a bunch of freaking idiot kids like parking. And I remember I was just sitting in my car for a second, like checking my phone, and I seen this like kid like flying down the road when it was icy roads, hit into the parking lot. Like he was already late for school. He like drifted in by accident and slid and slammed right into my car that I was parked in.
Oh shit!
And then dude slammed right into me that I'm not exaggerating, I moved a whole parking space over. A whole parking space over. Dude, I get out of the car and I see this kid get out of the car and is booking into the school. I was like, you're gonna pretend like that didn't just happen?
I got license plates. I know where you parked. I know what time you leave school.
Dude, I just went into the office. I said, "Hey, that guy's an idiot," and they're like, "All right, we got him."
Ladies
then
and
just
gentlemen,
got it off
we
of
got him.
That's it. Didn't even have to explain why.
Yeah, the person was like, "Yeah, we saw it all." No, they didn't actually, but they're like, "Yeah, that's kinda
Ironically,
stupid."
I saw him being dragged out by two cops and stun gun bolts in his back later on that day.
Yeah, I don't know why they kept hitting Taste. He was already unconscious.
he went quietly. I was very confused with the situation.
He complied with everything. They just kept tasing him over and over.
I took the cocaine, so it couldn't have been that. I took that out of his passenger seat.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I thought you were gonna say, and then someone pulled up. Like you got moved over a parking space, and then the person whose parking space you now occupied pulled up. What the fuck, bro? And then hit your car.
I
I would have died.
It just starts to do a demo. At that point, I'm just demo bringing back. I'm like, you.
Just get out and just like push your car back.
By the way,
Yeah.
Tig, your hair looks very nice.
Well, I just took a shower like an hour ago. I needed it.
Same.
I just got home.
Well,
like
I didn't
20,
need
30
it.
minutes ago.
Oh, I
the
needed
Among
it.
Us shirt,
Gonna-
clean.
Thank you.
I'm wearing a Logic shirt and sweatshirt.
I don't think I've ever seen you without that sweatshirt on. To be honest, I don't think you own anything else.
Yeah, I do. I own the
That's true.
purple one. I wear my other Logic sweatshirt.
Oh
I
yeah,
own
yeah.
my
You
Logic
own the best
sweatshirt.
merch in the game. I forgot about that.
He doesn't have any Rudy merch. Oh, wait, there is
What
no
what
There
Rudy
is none.
merch?
Yeah.
There is none.
What Rudy merch can you
It's-
buy?
He owns
Edgar
Logic
merch.
sweaters and he owns I Hate It Here sweater or
Yeah.
hoodie. That's it. That's
have-
all Black wears.
So
I like my Logic sweatshirts.
what like on a snow day, what would you guys do? Like growing up, you guys
Oh.
had snow days?
You know what I did? Me and my friend Corey, we would play Madden all day.
Really?
100%. We would sit there. So my room had a door that led outside. It was just a giant glass door. Witness someone get stabbed outside of it. Not even gonna talk about that. But
Then you can't bring it up and not talk about it. Wait a minute.
we've already talked about this before between me, Rudy, and Tig. But we're not gonna dive into that. So we would sit there and we
You
would just play
stabbed him, didn't
Madden.
you?
No, why would I stab someone? I was 12.
GG's.
I was
So he
12.
stabbed you.
Hey, have you seen Home Alone?
No,
You can do a lot of stuff at that.
I mean, that is true.
I got
But we
my
would sit
appendix
there and
taken
we'll
out at
have
12
it
unwillingly.
was Madden 10 where you had like the fantasy mode where you
That
would
was
play
Brett
against
Favre
like
on
the
the cover, right?
Giants. No, it
No,
was
that was 9. That was 9. 9
yeah,
was Brett Favre,
yeah. And then the year before that was Steve McNair, I think. Or no. Was it Stevie Young?
It was
I don't know
Michael
who it
Vick.
was. I forget. It was not Mike. Michael Vick was 06, 07.
They had the
Great-
German Shepherd
great
behind
game.
him in the background.
Yeah, and playing "Locked Up" by Akon. I'm locked up. But we would sit there and we'd play Madden. It was fun vibes. Fun vibes.
Me and
No
my
bad
friend
vibes
could
there.
never play Madden because it always turned into somebody hitting the other person at some point.
Well, we
I
would
think
play
that
on the same
happens in any
team.
game ever. You know what the
We-
worst game is for like sibling violence?
Melee.
Is Mario. No, Mario.
Or
Literally, it's like,
anything
"My
Mario.
turn,
Smash Bros.
my
Regular.
turn."
No, the best
These-
was the one on the Wii where you could pick up your
Oh.
teammate and throw them off the fucking map.
Dude, yeah. Dude, that, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then you
Bro,
had to pop them in the bubble.
Yep.
Mario is always the worst for family time. Like, literally, it's like, hey, do you guys want to play Mario? It's like, nah. I'm not trying to get grounded today, dude.
Oh my gosh,
Leave
Jimmy, how'd
me
you get a
alone.
black eye? I wouldn't pop my sister.
I freaking threw her and her Yoshi out of here.
Okay.
Nobody else has any other snow day stories?
I got one when I first moved here.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I went out on a site that was out of town.
Wait, moved here, so
And-
this would be military. Like this is like
Yep,
the
yep, yep,
adult
yep.
you.
So when I moved to where I'm at now,
Mm.
when I posted out, it was like out away from town, and we were like pretty far away from town and stuff. So out in the distance, we saw the stars and stuff, beautiful clear skies, and then we just look over the hill and we see this massive cloud, and you could just tell that it was something fierce. And literally that night, I got a video from my wife, and it was thunderstorming and hailing like all at the same time for like 6 hours, and I didn't even get to see any of it, right? So then I went to sleep, woke up the next day to get more videos from her, and it was so bad. We have a mall here, and the entire parking lot of the mall got flooded. And there's a downstairs, or
shit.
there's a underground part of the mall which completely got flooded. So they had to replace all the flooring. People's like house windows, car windows got like completely shattered because it was like softball size hail. And then I came back
no.
when it was all over, and like my car was like untouched. Like it's like it never happened. I was just like, all right.
I'll take
Never
it.
got to see it. And, yeah.
I like how you told this story.
Side note, really quick. I did get attacked almost by a herd of cows.
Wow. You trying
Also.
to get milk?
No, so
No, I got
Them
milk.
Rocky-
There was no
Them
trying.
Rocky Mountain oysters, those are expensive.
so okay. In Montana, pretty much all it is just a giant state of just farm land, right? So it's just all these like buffalo cows, like anything, and these people own like miles upon miles of land. Like the only thing stopping them is just like a little like barbed wire fence, which they can definitely blow through, but they just choose not to. Well, I
Right.
was sitting just inside of a field, and it started to sprinkle a little bit, and then there's like a herd of cows like probably like over like this hill. Well, then they decided to slowly start to migrate towards we usually sit in like Humvees, and they sort of like migrated over, and then noticed that they were surrounding it, which was kind of weird because like we weren't moving or anything, and then it was starting to rain too much where we couldn't see through the windshield. So the person I was with, he's like, "Hey, turn on the windshield wipers, Well, these things just squeak. It's like the loudest squeak. It's like as soon as I turned it on, it's just like ee, eat the whole time, and there's literally 10 cows that just stopped eating and just death stared the Humvee, and they straight like they tried to like they were challenging it like a bull, like when like or like
So
a
you start
say
revving your
like
engine.
say if like say if you mess with like a dog like your dog or whatever and you like jump at them and then they jump back
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what it was doing, but like I was like the Humvee wasn't jumping back at them, they were just jumping at the Humvee.
It was
It was
I
crazy.
was
going down.
scared.
They all had black
And
leather
then
jackets and giant greaser hair, and they were walking up
oh my god, it
with
was all it was
switchblades.
so bad, like there's it was so bad because it was like there were all these like calves everywhere, and then you just had like just the big cows just like, "Are you trying to hurt my little baby?" And then
Oh
the
my god.
farmer pulled up because the farmer thought that we were messing with his cows. We're just like, "It's raining, and we need to see." And he just thought that we were that we were messing with the cows, and the cows were like, I was surprised one of the cows didn't even try to hit the Humvee.
He's
Oh,
like,
jeez.
Betsy here told me you were coming over to our yard.
He was
Is
pretty.
that true?
He was
Get
pretty
off my
pissed off that
lawn.
we used the Army Humvee sponsored by Chick-fil-A. That one kind of got to him. Giant eat
It's like,
more beef on the back of the license plate.
yeah, it's like how was I supposed to know that that's like their trigger sound is a windshield wiper going
Of a
off?
Humvee.
Like it was so loud though. It was like it was like just overwhelmingly loud.
You want to know what that
Like like
reminds me of?
sometimes when it's like raining and you get like half of like your windshield's like wet and then the other half is dry.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
like a
the
little
worst.
eat. Yeah, no, this no matter what, doesn't matter how much rain or like water is on the windshield. It just straight just eat eat like super loud and it's so bad.
What that
Yeah,
reminds me
that
of.
was that was a side note though. So
Have you
I'm done.
guys seen the show Black Mirror?
No,
No,
but I've heard a lot about it.
heard of it as
Is
well.
that like one that you can interact with it?
No, it's like the modern. I guess you could. I describe it as the modern day Twilight Zone, where it's like each episode is given a scenario with a twist to it. But if you
I
guys
think I
haven't
heard
seen
about that.
it, then
Like you
this comparison won't really make sense.
Yeah, nope.
Your story
Damn.
sucks.
Shut up, Rudy.
Hmm.
isn't it like
What?
with
Here's
Black
the,
Mirror?
like,
It doesn't matter like which episode you watch. You can literally start anywhere
Yeah, because they're
because
all
there's not like
different.
yeah, it's not like a like in
It's
another
all
one.
like
dude,
the
I like
Twilight
stuff
Zone.
like that. I like stuff like that, like where you can start wherever. Dude, I like
Dude,
like
it's
it
such a
start
messed up
like the
show.
story and they end the story like in the same episode.
No,
I like that.
there's one episode where it's like it's this military camp, and they're out in the just like this town, and they're hunting these zombie creatures. And so like they're
That makes
breaking
sense.
into houses, they're killing these zombie creatures and stuff. They're all official army, and you like start. This guy gets a head injury, right where like his visor is, his like army visor, and he starts to notice that these who they're killing are just regular people. That like the army chip that they get when they come in is disguising them as zombies because they're essentially just culling the herd of a third world country. So it's like stems off of that. It's such a messed up show, but it's so entertaining to watch.
So it's like thinking that you're playing a video game and really you're just murdering people.
You know, that's actually like one of my biggest fears is like like thinking someone's attacking me, but it's just like I'm delusional for whatever reason, you know? Like I actually think about that a lot. Like people like what's your biggest fear? My biggest fear is that like let's say
Not
like I think
actually
someone
being
is-
attacked.
Yeah, like no, like someone's attacking me and I'm attacking them back, but like in all reality, I just like I'm attacking some old lady out
Just
Oh,
for no
attacking each
reason.
other.
Yeah.
I just picture just two people screaming and running at each other and then
But you know what I'm saying? Like the other person like is doing nothing wrong. It's just like and it's like such a weird like thing, but
With
what I'm
all
what if
saying?
someone
the,
comes up to you and is like screaming because they need your help and then all of a sudden you just start beating the crap out of them?
yeah, it's like it's my cheese, and they're like, "What?" You start kicking them in the face.
with all
That's
the
like for,
with all the mental patients I've had, it's crazy to like see them and analyze them and like how they're like their brain just works weirdly. Like I've had so many like patients be like, "Yeah, he attacked me," or like they just start randomly screaming in the ambulance, "Get off me! Get off me!" It's like
yeah.
the brain just does not work the same or doesn't work normally.
Yeah, see, Taylor talks about that like stuff, like where she'll tell me stories about like patients like that in her hospital, and that's like what makes me fear it. I'm just like that person has no idea, like
Oh no.
what is even happening, and I just don't want that to be me.
No, one of my paramedics freaked me out really bad when I was starting out. because there was a mental patient where it's like, now think, because it was like a frequent flyer mental patient, and she's been like in this state for a really long time, and he's like, what do you imagine her like finally snapping out of it after like 3 years, and 3 years of your life is just gone, and you remember none of it, none of that state of being, none of that mindset. You essentially just
Yeah, that's
wake up from
terrible.
a coma
Right? Yeah, it's terrible.
because your brain was just almost off in a sense.
There's something similar to that. I was listening to a podcast about like they were interviewing this guy who just got out of prison. He was in prison for like it was like 20 or 30 years, something like that. And they were like life is totally like 20 to 30 years ago is like nothing is even remotely close to the same. You know what I'm saying? Like what 20 to 30 years ago, like when was like I don't know, like when like was like let's say the first like smartphone, internet, like things like that, like weren't like around, and then like on top of that, on top of everything being drastically different, like then you come out to this world where there's COVID and you're like, hey, you gotta wear a mask. Like everywhere you go. You have to actually I know you
There's
just
a
got out of
disease that's
prison.
killing everybody.
He's like, hey, I know you got out of prison, but now you have to go stay locked up in your house because no one can go outside. And like I was listening to that podcast, and this guy was just saying like how it's like not even like real, like it's so crazy, and it's kind of like that, like with a coma, but like a prison is basically the same thing as being in a coma. Like you're just in like equivalent like to a big room for however many years.
Yeah, but at
So
least you know about like the outside world, because you got your TV time and you have access to internet and whatnot, so you know what's going on.
Yeah, but are
Well,
you
right, but-
using that TV time to like watch current event news if you're in prison?
No.
I mean, depends on who
some
you are.
freaks
I probably
are.
would.
Maybe
I
they have a
would
TV
not.
show to catch up on.
All right.
Yeah, right. They gotta watch The Office or Black Mirror.
I
Or
mean,
Grey's Anatomy.
Like some of the new shows
Yo,
that are
Grey's
out
Anatomy
now,
is fire.
Dude,
No,
like,
gotta get
they have
Anatomy is
COVID episodes.
fire.
COVID episodes, Stig.
Really good
Yeah,
show.
like TV shows have COVID episodes, literally.
They're
Well,
probably
that's what's crazy
watching
to think
Oh,
about.
yeah,
Is
some of
like,
them, yeah.
if COVID's been out, like it's like
It
it
got
came,
released.
it came out, like pre-order was
Beta's
shipped out
over.
about a year ago. So we've had
Technically,
COVID for
it's
like a year.
we've had COVID for 3 years. Technically, it was the end of
We're
2019.
waiting for COVID too. The trailer's coming out for COVID too.
Dude, I'm so sick of them just constantly updating it. Like, just give us a new game. Release Coronavirus League play already. Fuck.
Please, dude, I want to start fighting people for a rank. I'll start sneezing.
Rudy's like, I'm coughing on all these people and I'm getting nothing for it.
Yeah, I'm a diamond
No
level
rewards.
sneezer.
Give
Zero
me my
progression.
earnings.
This guy's cheating. He has a freaking full-on visor, dude. That's GA'd.
My SPMM is trash, dude. I just keep getting all healthy people.
I keep getting healthy people. I keep getting people that are asymptomatic.
This
Speak-
guy's immune. What the heck?
Speaking of league play, so CDL exhibition happened this weekend. Thoughts
Did.
on that? LA Thieves got fucking ran.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
They got
actually crazy.
destroyed.
You're just
Should've
kind of, you know, I was
been
thinking. So I was just listening to Scump, who's part of Optic Chicago, and he was saying how, like, there were a few teams there who were, of course, treating it like an exhibition match, like basically calling it like a advanced scrim, basically. But he was saying like his team and a couple other teams like went there to win. They're like, we don't care if this doesn't count towards our standings. This is like the kickoff event. Like,
Yeah,
we want to
This
start
is-
off on a
this is
strong
opening
note.
day.
Which is so true.
Get you in
That's
rhythm.
exactly, and dude, that's exactly. First of all, what Optic did, I knew they were going to win, but 3-0'd, and they 3-0'd them handedly. Like when I was watching it during the final map on Control, I literally just started scrolling through Twitter. I was like, this is so boring to watch. Just Dashy and Envoy just wreck house, dude. Like it's not even close.
Nobody on LA either had a positive KD either throughout the entire
Dude,
game
they were
or
getting
match.
I need to
demolished, dude.
unretire.
So
Even like during the search and destroy, dude, they were getting. It was crazy.
do
How
you
bad
think
they got
LA's
whipped.
a good team and Optics just like 10,000 times better? Do you think LA Thieves are dead in the water?
No. LA Thieves is definitely not dead in the water. So like obviously you can say the saying that all 12 teams, no matter how bad they are pro teams.
Mhm.
So of course they're good. But still, like, so I would say the power rankings before this past weekend was Dallas 1, FaZe 2, Optic 3, LA Thieves 4, like out of the 12 teams. Where now the power rankings are probably like Dallas 1, Optic 2, FaZe 3, Florida 4, like LA Thieves 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then
Like maybe
Subliner
Rocker.
is not in there at all.
So the Subliners kind of didn't really get a chance. You know, they kind of got really bad.
Yeah, they
So
went
do
up
you know
against
the
Dallas,
story?
didn't they?
You want
no,
to
so
talk
what
about COD
happened?
timing?
Yeah, so
Like,
what happened is they're like one of their players, Zuma, he was like one of their quote unquote veteran players.
Zuma's a good player.
And he's a fantastic player, but he had to retire like a week before the tournament because he in the past had like this hand problem and wrist problem, and he like did like I think he had said he had surgery on it. He did therapy, all this stuff years ago, and
Mhm.
he said like a week before the tournament, he said it started to act up again, and he said he couldn't risk it, so he had to retire. So like Subliners had to pick up top amateur player, which was Diamond Con. And so not only did they pick up a new player, which is like tough to learn in a week with a new player, then they had to pick up like the new player was an amateur player, not even a pro. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then the other thing is like that player. So Zuma was an SMG, and the player they picked up was an AR player because one of the other players, Mac Melts, he's been running AR, but he's always wanted to run SMG. And he's like, hey, screw it. If we're picking up an AM player, we're basically starting at step 1. I might as well run what I want to run. So they were like totally and utterly back down to step 0, like a week before this. So they didn't really even get, and then they had to play against Dallas, which is the team to be.
Mhm.
And then on top of all of that I just told you, like Clayster just got dropped off of Dallas after winning champs last year. So it was like so unfair for Subliners. Like they should have like let Subliners not even play, honestly.
Honestly, too, as I was thinking about that, Clayster, especially after that exhibition match. I know it's an exhibition match. I can't imagine you're in a good headspace right now if you're Clayster. Get kicked
No,
off the
dude, it's
team, your
bullcrap.
team's falling apart, get absolutely railed by the team you got dropped by.
You know, this isn't the first time this has happened to Clayster. Back in Black Ops 2, he was on Complexity, and they were on like I don't even know like what number, but
Yeah,
they were on
wasn't
a
Clayster
crazy.
such a piece of shit back then? Like he had it coming.
I don't think so. Huh?
Oh
Like
no, I'm thinking of Parasite.
Yeah,
I have heard
Parasite's
that
guy.
Clayster was a pretty shitty person though. I remember he punched somebody in an elevator at an event.
I have no idea that story. But
It's like I'm
regardless,
staying away from elevators.
he was on Complexity, which was like so. There's only been a few dynasties in COD history. Like, and by dynasty I mean teams that were like by far undefeated teams. And he was on the Complexity dynasty, and they won a tournament. And then like the next day, they're like, "Hey, we don't want to play with you anymore. We're gonna pick up Karma now." Which Karma was a great fit and technically a better player, but it was just like this isn't the first time that's happened to Clayster, unfortunately, where he's just like on the best team in the world, and they're like, "You're not good enough," even though we keep winning. Like we're not even showing signs of slowing down. We're gonna replace you. Like who does that? Now in this case,
What
Empire
are they
had to
saying?
do
Like
it.
we're not winning as much as we should be.
Yeah, like I don't know. Well, so this year
We
they
can-
had to do it because they went from 5v5 con to 4v4, so they had to drop off someone. But in the
Mhm.
past, I don't know what the reason was. But yeah, dude, poor Clayster. He's like the guy who has 3 rings, which is no one. There's a few other players who have 3 rings, but no one has any more than that. So 3 COD champs, and he gets dropped the most off of winning
Oh, he
teams.
punched Nate shot.
Clayster punched Nate shot. Are you talking about Aches? Aches punched Nate shot.
No. Clayster reveals why he butt heads with Nate shot during the optic stint. I think it was Clayster like punched Nate shot.
You're talking about like the one where it was during a tournament and it was on the camera, like on the main camera after a match.
It was
Like, Optic
that
just beat-
tournament, but it's not. I don't think it's that instant. But it was that
Is
tournament.
that
yeah.
instant I'm talking about? Is like Optic had just won like a raid match. They won the series, and Nate shot like went over there and like yelled, and Aches like pushed him away.
Oh no, yeah, that was I remember that specifically because I remember that was yeah, I remember that instant.
Yeah, I don't remember the Clayster thing, but regardless,
Because I think
Clayster is,
Parasite
like,
was on Aches' team because anything Parasite's on is toxic towards God.
dude, Parasite was like kind of on a dynasty at one point. He's a good COD player.
Yeah, but he's such a
actually
piece of shit.
by-
Well, I think he's not a
Oh,
piece of
he
shit
is.
now. I've heard he's like
Well,
redeemed
right.
himself now.
I would agree, but I think he like got him stuff so bad. Like he's so beyond
Oh,
like
he's
should be a
censored.
pro. Literally, no matter what team he gets picked up on, like amateur wise, like last year for Modern Warfare series, he was single handedly the highest placing person out of every amateur player, and he went on like 50 different teams
It's the
because
same
like
thing like this year. It's happening right now in the AM scene.
yeah, he gets dropped like every week, and then literally like the team he gets dropped by, he plays them the next week and just destroys his old team, and go like wins with the new team, and then like that new team will drop him because for whatever reason, and then he'll just destroy them the next week. He literally just doesn't stop winning, but no one wants to play with him because he just has that stigma.
Oh yeah, because it's flipping. No matter how much you win, if you're a shitty teammate, you don't want to play with a shitty teammate.
Right,
Back,
but and like you were saying, like we don't know. Like I would feel like he's changed by now. I didn't. I don't know though. I
as
just
someone
know
who's
that
in
he is too
in
good.
terms of being a hothead like that, in his that, for being in a professional scene, people like that don't change. People like that
True.
don't change behind closed doors.
True. Yeah, and I guess at that point, those players like don't really want to play with him because they're like, well, you're definitely not going pro.
Yeah, you're
And like,
definitely dog water.
yeah, like I feel like the amateur scene needs a lot of work. But one thing that they're probably like their best bet is to play as a really solid team of four. So next year when there's expansion teams, finally they can get picked up as a team of four. And I'm sure no one wants to play with Parasite. They're like, oh well, no one's gonna pick you up in a team of four.
I think the
I don't know.
big
That's my like thoughts or opinion or whatever. I have no idea. Like the real reason.
the biggest thing they need to do, and it not to reference Smite just for the sake of referencing Smite, but like the way Smite would do it, every tournament they had with the pros, it was people in the lower scene, the amateur scene, would try really hard because there was one show match where the amateurs actually got on the main stage, they were on the main broadcast, and they got a lot of exposure. So there was a lot of amateur players picked up onto professional teams. And I think we should have like each event there should be one streamed main stage. I know we're COVID, but event of the amateur league, not
Well,
just
see,
like a
that's the thing.
gunfight tournament here and a gunfight tournament there.
Or
That's the
just
thing. We
like
had that. Well, we had that last year, and as you can tell, you didn't even know what happened last year because they didn't. That was the problem. They didn't advertise it. That was a thing last
Yeah,
year.
they
Like
theatered it.
at a, at every pro like homestand last year, there was an amateur tournament, and it was streamed, and it was casted and everything. It just for whatever reason wasn't advertised, and like right there, you didn't even know about it. It happened every
Mhm.
event last year,
I
and
yeah I
also
didn't
right
know that.
now. See, exactly. And also right now, the amateur players have already played in like 6 tournaments. Did you even know any of them?
No,
I haven't watched any of them because I didn't even know they were happening. Like they happen like almost every weekend, but no one advertises them
I
except for the amateur players streaming them.
never hear about the amateur COD league ever.
Exactly. It's hard to like unless you are invested, and then even if you try to become invested and like root for a team, it's like the team you're rooting for is just going to be a totally different team next week. So then
Mhm.
you're like, all right, well, I'll just follow my one player. But then you're like, my one player's playing with 3 new people every week because like there's not a lot of rules within them
Mm.
until like their elite series like really starts, like their elite league, which is hopefully starting soon. We for whatever reason like don't have a date, or if they do have a date, they're not advertising it that well.
Well, and also it's like each especially in COD, each player is essentially playing for themselves almost because nobody's picking up teams for amateur league.
Yeah, right now they
It's not like
can't.
League of
Yeah.
Legends or MOBAs where you pick up a whole team because they work well together. You pick up individual players.
See, and that's what they're hoping for this year. They were actually hoping, like they were saying that we were going to get 4 new expansion teams this year, and that's why like the number one AM team. There's one AM team right now that's actually sticking together, winning every weekend, and it's West R,
Mm.
or some people have been calling them Wester, but it's West R, and that's the team where next year if we get expansion teams, they're the only team that's going to be picked up as a pack of 4, is they win
Because
every
they're the
weekend.
only team in amateurs.
And so Optic Formal was saying there. Someone was asking Formal, like, what do you think about this West R team? Because even Optic has been scrimming against them. I don't know about other pro teams, but I know Optic has been scrimming, like search and destroy against the amateur teams because they want to practice search and destroy, but they don't want to give away their strats to the pros. Because if you practice against a pro team, you're practically giving them, because there's theater mode. They can go back to theater mode and literally watch your play-by-play, or they're also so smart they're just senior play-by-play as they play the match. So I know that Optic's been playing against some amateur teams, and they've been playing against West Star. They've been playing against West Star quite a bit, and Formal was saying like, yeah, they're a pretty good team. Like if they were to join the Pro League right now, they'd probably be a top 6 team. But the only reason they're doing so well in amateur scene, and the reason why they're going to continue to do well, is because they're the only team that's still a team of 4 for more than 7 days.
Yeah, that know each other's call outs, know what each other means, what they say those call outs, know their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, it's like not even close, like how bad they're just going to win every event this year. Like the only other team that could potentially try to fight them is any team that Parasite's on, just because he's that naturally good. But for the most part, like West Star is going to be unstoppable this year, and hopefully they get picked up to an expansion team next year. Hopefully, like, what are the teams? I know Rise Nation really wants in. E United wants in. So do you know any of the other teams that? All I know is Rise Nation for sure. Like says like they're ready to do it now. Like they have the money now and everything. And I know E United wants in. I just don't think that they had the money to, even if they were offered it.
Maybe like Cloud9 or something like that. I can't think of very many.
Cloud9 was one of them as well. Not 100% sure, but I can't wait for some expansion teams next year. That'd be cool. The rumor is 4. Like we're gonna get 4.
Rise Nation is an interesting org to me because weren't they? I believe they used to be Red Reserved, which Red Reserved was a subsidy or like a sister team to FaZe. Like they were broke.
Rise. I don't think was Rise Nation and Red Reserve ever together? I don't really.
I thought they were the same thing. Am I mistaken?
Either you're mistaken or I never heard about.
I thought Red Reserve turned into
Red Reserve was a FaZe. Red Reserve was a FaZe thing, like just a FaZe. Yeah. It's like Optic Gaming had Optic Gaming team, and then their second team they just called them Optic Nation. Like you just had to have a different name. I know Rise Nation like was a COD team for a while. Didn't Octane used to play for Rise? Like I'm pretty sure that was like one of his come up teams.
I only know Rise Nation from Gears.
I don't know. I know Rise Nation was definitely like a actual team at one point. But I don't know. I'm just like any team.
Oh,
honestly,
they merged.
Me,
they did. The business people in charge of Red Reserve merged with Rise Nation.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's still cool though. Like literally for me, the teams I wanted to be back was Optic as Chicago, and then I wanted the LA Thieves. So any other team to me is like exciting, but there's none I'm really like. I guess Cloud9 I would kind of be rooting for just because that's like a well-known esports team, like amongst other esports.
I can't stand Cloud9.
I literally just only know the name. Like I'm just trying to think of big names I know that aren't in COD. Like what's another?
Cloud9 is so fucked up to their players.
Oh, I know E United. Actually, I take that back. E United would be a team I'm excited for, just because E United is like such a home Call of Duty team. They just like couldn't get into it because it was too expensive.
Mm. Yeah, because they were big World War II. United was
Black Ops 4. They were Black Ops 4 champs.
Okay, yep.
They had Snipa, BZ, Arcides, and Pristini.
Yep. No, I know E United because that's another story of there used to be an org called Enemy that merged with United.
Enemy, I have no idea.
That's how United got a lot of their funding for other esports besides CS:GO and COD.
See, the only other esport I've ever really tried to watch was CS:GO, and that's like when Optic was in it. Obviously, like I just follow Optic.
Oh, they're not in. Oh no, Optic India.
They're not in it anymore. Optic India. That's
Word.exe.
That was like after Hex already like had lost control of his like own team. But besides that, I can't like CS:GO. Like the reason why I stopped watching CS:GO and the reason why it's probably like a dying industry right now is they just have too many tournaments like every week. I remember when Optic won the E-League, which was the first CS:GO major like broadcasted on TV. It was on like one of the ESPN channels. I remember watching that and I was like, dude, Optic just won this. Like this is insane. And literally the next weekend there was another tournament. And they didn't win that tournament, and everyone was just talking about that new tournament. It's like, dude, you couldn't even give them not even 1 week to like enjoy a major tournament. Like imagine you win COD champs and the next weekend is like, all right, We're doing a 4v4 capture the flag only tournament.
Yeah, imagine
What?
you win COD champs and 3 hours later you're cut from the team.
You get dropped, yeah, right?
Imagine.
That would be terrible.
You know what's crazy is he knew he was getting dropped before that day even started. Like they knew a month in advance. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, so all the pro players were told a month before. Well, actually, no, not the pro players.
The owners.
The owners were told a month before COD Champs that they were going to 4v4, and most of the teams kept that information to themselves. They didn't want to tell their players to not worry them.
Mm.
But Dallas told all their players, which Crimsix is one of those players, and then Crimsix told every pro he knows because he was like, if I tell all the other pros, they're going to get nervous and they're going to start playing for themselves instead of for their team, which is so true.
Yeah, because
Like,
there's one player from every team getting cut.
Yeah, right. And then Clayster and Crim both had an agreement that whichever one of us does worse will be the one that gets dropped because the other 3 players on the team were like obviously not going to get dropped, and Crim and Clayster were both the quote unquote old guys who also both played the same role, which you only need one of, AR and 4v4. And so like they were playing this whole tournament, playing for like millions of dollars. In the back of their head, they're like, "This might be like my last match, like with this team." Like, dude, that sucks.
At least they made the most of it, because at the end of the day, they all did get a ring. At the end of the day.
Dude, that's true. Have you seen the trophy?
No.
The trophy
it's
is
sick.
literally a throne. It's literally a chair, like a metal throne. And they had like a whole photo shoot where they all got like custom Nikes, like this ring, and like this like obsidian throne.
That's lit.
Dude, it's crazy.
So, speaking of Call of Duty, I remember one thing you've been
Thanks.
complaining about a lot this week is, one, how awesome the exhibition is, and 2, how wildly different the CDL meta is to a really, really shitty casual meta you guys are currently stuck in right now. What is that meta?
Dude, the meta is it's either there's a couple things. Either A, the worst, which is every year the overkill sniper SMG, which is the most bogus thing ever. If you think of a game like Valorant or Overwatch, or not Valorant or CS:GO, you have to pay top dollar for a sniper. That's how OP snipers are. If you think of a game like Overwatch, only a couple characters have snipers, and they're the hardest characters to use. Like they made them really hard to use and frail because of how good snipers are. Where in COD, they're like, we'll give you a sniper for free, but if you miss your shot, we're not even going to make you run around with a pistol. You also get an SMG.
Could you imagine in Valorant where it's like, yeah, well, I missed my op shot. Let me whip out my Phantom.
Exactly.
That
And
would be
you
terrible.
get it every round, every game. And when you're playing Search and Destroy, there's 100% chance that all 6 opposing players have a sniper on their back. It's like, and then the other thing, if you're not running the sniper overkill SMG, you're running something with the dual wield magnums, which are literally just miniature snipers. And what I mean by that is they one shot you, like, which is the whole reason, like this. That's the whole problem with the snipers. That one shots you. Is in Call of Duty, people don't sit in the back with snipers like they do in CS:GO or Valorant, but they like it's just the idea of a one shot gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's what I'd say every year.
It actually takes some skill to use a one-shot weapon.
It should, but it doesn't right now.
Oh no.
Mr. Diamond Sniper over there is a little bit salty.
Dog, snipers are overpowered, and it's unbelievable that they're like there should be a rule like in public match that only one player on your team gets to run a sniper for real.
Do you think in the CDL we're gonna see a dedicated role to snipers, or like? Because I think Raid Search and Destroy.
Yes.
Raid Search and Destroy, we could probably see a dedicated sniper role.
So in Search and Destroy, there's always like one sniper on the team, but in the pros they know that like if you're not getting if your sniper's not getting first blood or at least 1 to 2 picks every round,
Switch
off.
SMG or AR, depending on whichever one.
Yeah,
they
like
took over.
whatever their role is, right? So, and like that's the thing. Like when we're playing league play and you play against a really good sniper, you're like, wow, that guy's just good. But when you're in public match and you're playing against a sniper that shoots 40 shots at you while you're shooting at his other guys, and like one of them finally hits and one shots you, it's annoying. Like when the pro league, they just don't miss. You're like, that guy's just good. And also, there's only one of you, not 6 of you. You have 6 guys shooting at you with snipers. One of them is bound to hit you, and it's a one-shot kill.
True.
So annoying. It's awful. I can't wait for League Play.
Did they come out with the release yet for League Play?
Shut up, Vance.
They're hiding it from Rudy.
I'm Hey, I'm upset too. That's the only thing I look forward to is just League Play in COD.
Yeah,
Because
me
if
too.
we don't do any League Play with any restrictions or anything, like you're talking about with like metas and stuff, it's like I don't want to play a match to where I, no matter no matter what I do, what gun I pick, it's like I always die within like 1 to 2 shots.
Is the AK banned from CDL, by the way?
It's
It's
GA'd.
Because I noticed everybody's using the XM4, and
Yeah.
is it just
what's
that
GA?
much better? Gentleman agreement to not use.
Yeah, so
Mm,
what a
okay.
gentleman's agreement is like, so the CDL has their ban list. Like, you can't use C4s, you can't use
RPGs, tac rifles.
RPGs, tag rifles, shotguns, the obvious bans, right? But the
Isn't it usually like
pros,
ARs and SMGs and then like pistols?
yeah, right. Yeah, LMGs are always banned.
Hmm.
But like the pros play for like 16 hours a day, like 6 to 7 days a week. So they find like these little minute things that when you're that good, they become overpowered. But for people like us, you're like, I mean, that makes your gun like a little better, but not really that big a difference. But when you're playing with these guys who don't miss a bullet, like some of these attachments become overpowered. And so what they'll do is they'll agree that even though this gun isn't technically banned, none of us are going to use it.
Like
And the reason why,
a big gentleman agreement in Modern Warfare is your team couldn't have more than one person running a stun grenade.
yeah, that's a big one because if you had 5 people running stuns,
If you could just
It
stun
was
the whole
just, like,
team, you can't react no matter how good your aim is because you can't turn.
exactly, or like they're limited to 1 smoke per team.
Mm.
So
That sounds
that's
a
like
lot better
basic.
than with the Valorant when you can like smoke an area or like you have like 3, 4 different people that can flash.
Or when
And
you
you just
don't
Or
have
at least
smokes and they
flashing.
do,
Well,
and
yeah.
it's pain.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
reason why Valorant's different though is like for one, each character, like not every character has a stun or a smoke, and also you have to pay for it. Where in Call of Duty, like every person has
That's true. They just like
smokes
spawn
and gets
in.
it every round for free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's
there's
why
never
like
going to be a round where it's like, oh, Crim6 couldn't afford his stun grenade this round.
exactly right. And see, that's like that's their excuse why League Play isn't coming out yet is because of the GAs, which is like a good excuse because like obviously you don't want to play League Play against like 6 smoke grenades when the pros GA'd it down to 1.
Yeah, you
So,
want
like,
your
the
league
CDL
play to feel like CDL.
Right, so the CDL's trying to figure out how they can incorporate that rule because obviously you're not going to get League Play players to agree to GAs, especially like if someone asks you, "Hey, Vance, you want to do the GAs?" You're like, "What's a GA even?" You know what I'm saying? But that's also a bad excuse because at this point, I would rather play without GAs and just play with the obvious bans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
been
fine,
so
dude.
long. I would rather just play like every once in a while you get a crappy game, but for the most part, most people in League Play will know the GAs.
Didn't Black Ops 3 have a league play that had a pick and ban system?
Yes, it was literally the
Yes.
best.
They had to.
It was so good. The pros didn't like it, dude. I
I think people
love
just
that.
didn't like it because like it did take like an extra 3 minutes to start a match, which I've never cared for. I mean,
Well, the reason why the pros didn't like it is because if there was a team that was obviously going to lose the match, instead of like they would just ban all the SMGs. They would just like make you play a weird meta.
oh, they just make it like a shitty, not so fun
Yeah,
game.
they're like we literally have no chance of winning this. So our only 1% chance of winning this is if we literally just take away everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's the reason why they didn't like it. But dude, the pick ban system was incredible. I love that. Every game of League Play, you're like, this is the most like what's the word? Like unique game every time. Like you're never bored because you're like, dude, like someone just banned my SMG that I get 100 kills with every game. Now I have to learn a new gun on the fly. Like it's just awesome. Like it's enticing.
Well, welcome to MOBAs, where there's like 100 different characters. Every game is literally a different game.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's so awesome. I miss that Black Ops 3 League Play. I was gonna, dude. The last time we had a ranked League Play was over 5. It's been over 500 days. Because Modern Warfare had CDL playlist, but there was no rank. The last game that had it was
Yeah.
Black Ops 4, which was like August 23rd, 2019, or
Yeah.
22nd, 2019. And that was the last day of Black Ops 4 before Modern Warfare came down. It's been over 500 days since we've had a league play. It's embarrassing, honestly. Like they just sunk. Like each COD team had to pay between $30 and $50 million to get a COD league spot. Yet they won't give us a league play, which would literally grow the CDL like viewers.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
And also the amateur
like
scene would thrive.
the amateur scene would super thrive, and also all the pros are like, we don't even play league play because we scrim so much. But please give us league play so our scene can grow. Like we just gave you $50 million per team.
Yeah, not
There's
only
12
would that
teams.
help the amateur scene thrive, it also helped recognition of amateur players thrive. It's like, yeah, Crim6 has been grinding league play. He's masters, and he keeps getting paired with this guy who's amateur, and they're just clicking
Yeah.
and they're popping off every single game, and they're literally on the same wavelength as, and you know,
That's a good point.
someone happens to leave Crim6's team. That's how in Smite, that's how we all got discovered. Is we'd be grandmasters and we'd play with other people and we'd see who clicked with who. So like, let's say
Dude,
a roster spot was open. Hey, well, I know Jimothy down the block. I play great with him, and he could play the role we're looking for. Let's have him try out.
Dude, in
Didn't that
Black Ops
happen with
2
somebody in Overwatch? Like they grinded ranked
Yes.
or something like
Oh,
that,
what's
and then
his
it got picked
name?
up by a pro team
Yes.
because
Oh,
of
dude,
it.
what's his name?
J,
It's
uh,
I
literally
don't know.
J Caster,
Yeah, Jay. What?
J Caster or J Naps or something.
No, it is something. Jay Jonak. It's Jay
Yep.
Jonak.
And then he came out
He
as
lit-
he came out as we're not going to talk about that, but
He-
he's in jail
Oh, I
now.
don't even know that. Is he actually?
Oh yeah, he played with minors. So he's
Oh, I
in,
didn't even
yeah,
know
so
that.
he's gone now.
Well, besides that, we're not even gonna talk about that. I didn't even know that was a thing. But Jay Jonak was every competitive season. You can see like the top 100 players, and he
Mhm.
was always number one with healers. And people are like, this is literally impossible. Like this guy has to be hacking, right? He's the only way to be number one is with a DPS character.
I
like, to
think Kid
carry.
X was really good.
I'm just saying like his story is like
oh,
he
you,
was
you,
number
oh, I thought
one.
you knew that meme.
Oh no, he
Kid
was
X
number
was
one.
Kid X was like the first top 500 player banned for aimbotting.
Oh, well, he
Jeez.
was number one as a healer, and they just found out he was like just legitimately good, and he became a pro off of that. And the other thing I was gonna say is Black Ops 2 league play, the first league play ever. It wasn't called the CDL at the time, but the CDL to qualify
CWL?
for it wasn't even called the CWL either. It was just like an MLG circuit. But to qualify for their circuit, you had to be a top league play team. Like they actually did that.
Really?
Like in order to become a pro team, you have to become a top league play team. Like they did
Huh.
that in Black Ops 2. So all the pro teams were grinding league play. Like, dude, talk about glory.
And how COD has fallen from it.
Now Warzone is here, taking all their attention.
Warzone is amazing.
The newborn baby is here, taking all the attention from mommy and daddy. Meanwhile, I'm over here starving in a corner, just wanting my league
Do
play.
you think battle royales are gonna die, or at least
No.
majorly so?
No.
No
No,
shot.
not at all.
They're just getting better.
Never.
Literally never.
I
I'm
mean,
sure there's
you,
gonna be more coming out
you
soon.
probably think that, but then you keep forgetting that we played the beta test for Scavengers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys played a beta of a battle royale. It's not even out yet, and you guys were saying it's amazing.
Yeah, but
Like, there's so-
that's not even a battle
It is
royale.
it is a battle royale though. It's just different different settings. That's the thing.
I would say
It's like
it's
that-
more like a survival
with that one, it
PvP
was-
game.
Well, it's PvP, PvE, but like as well as like if you found a team, you would essentially have to be like, if not the top team, like the top 3 teams.
They follow
or,
me
like,
on
team
Twitter,
survive.
and I love them forever.
any survival game like that, like a battle royale is just a survival game, is not gonna die, dude.
Look at
I mean,
Fortnite.
I think it's because
It's
it's
technically lost so much popularity. It's still thriving.
I think it's
like,
because of
my-
the competitive nature of it.
Right, exactly. Like you want to be the best of 100. Like I beat 150 players a day. Not my team of 6 beat your team of 6. Like out of 150 players, I just destroyed you all.
I only killed one person because I was in the back of the map in Verdansk sniping, but I outlived 150 people.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Players like that who sit in the back, when they get top 10, they text all their boys like, "Dude, I got top 10 today. I'm so much better than you, bros. I'm gonna go."
My dad
this
came
is-
in and beat me mid match for doing nothing with my life, but I won.
Yeah.
I'm not salty.
Oh boy.
Took my dog out for a walk. 20 minutes later, come back and me and another guy
We're still in
left.
the game. I did the
Still
old
in the
rubber
game.
band
Just
around a
happened to close
joystick
my move.
trick.
I accidentally put my controller like just right on the table, so I was spinning. I didn't even get kicked for inactivity.
I did the old rubber band on the joystick trick.
I came back and I actually won. The other two guys killed themselves.
My dad once would have won a Warzone match without firing a single bullet. They both won with 0 damage. Everybody else just died in the storm.
Oh, that's different. It's different.
He goes, man, I've never had a battle royale win that I didn't feel proud of. The funniest part is they were looking for fights too, and they just couldn't find them.
Huh.
Every time they'd arrive at where they hear gunshots, the fight had ended, and the team that won left.
They like walking around with their eyes closed too.
Well, I feel like you only get.
I'm not gonna answer that on stream.
Like people shooting at you when you don't want them to, or when
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
like
So if
you're on the
looking
mindset.
for a
You're
fight,
like,
nobody's there.
oh, let's go search this building, and then when you run in, there's an entire team, and then you're not ready,
In a
and you
corner.
guys disbanded throughout that little suburban area of houses. So I don't know where it's like a 1v3 or like a 1v4.
We win those.
Okay, big thing because we're starting wrap up period. We have to talk about the ninja drama. So I'm gonna describe it. I know for the most part, I think everybody but Vance and maybe Tig know the drama. So what happened is Ninja. I don't actually know what started it, but Ninja made a
Not even
statement
a real drama. They made it drama, but go ahead.
because everything Ninja says is drama.
Right? Yeah.
Because they can't just let the man live his life. But
What'd
he
you say to me,
said,
you little shit?
"What'd you say to me, little shit?" Basically, what happened was Ninja was on stream, and he said the reason gaming is so toxic is because parents aren't watching what these kids are saying. You know, it's really hard nowadays to play a Call of Duty lobby without getting told you're the N word by little Johnny, who's 12 years old, shoving G Fuel up his ass. You know, it just happens. And he's saying,
Not
in a
wrong.
perfect
He's ahead of
world,
our time.
in a perfect world, we could have parents like log onto an app and hear their kids in just them. He specified just them because obviously, if not just them, it'd be like a privacy thing. Just them and what they're saying into their microphone in their games, and that it's the parents' fault that these kids are turning out racist and stupid. And of course, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," but I hope you kill yourself.
Yeah, like that makes sense, Ninja, but you should be a better role model. That's like basically what everyone
You have
said.
blue hair.
Yeah, like you have blue hair and you should be a better role model, dude. Stop telling my kids to floss.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's the parents' responsibility for how you act on video games?
To an extent.
Do you
Well, I
think
think it's
parents
an
could have an influence?
I mean,
on
I think I turned out pretty good, and the only thing my mom told me was, just don't do what you do in video games in real life.
You did that.
Yeah, but see, yeah,
You
see,
joined
you're
the
Hey.
military.
You are living
li-
Call of Duty, man.
You literally did the one thing she told you
I
not to
didn't
do.
I played Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. So
Okay, yeah, but that's not what he's saying. Like he's not saying like you get out of the game and you're not violent. What Ninja was saying is like how many times do you
But-
get into a game of COD like League Play or Valorant and like one of your teammates is 12 years old calling you the N-word because you like lost a
yeah, that's
gunfight.
true. Yeah, that's
It's like
that's
75% of the time that happens.
It's like
And
bad
someone-
parenting, though. You know what I mean? Like, if
Well,
you're leaving your
where are
kid
your parents?
unsupervised for that long, like, beat
Well,
them.
that's what
Yeah,
Ninja was
that's
saying.
yeah, especially like unsupervised. That's
Moral of
the
the
thing,
story,
like,
and I think everybody can agree, we need to start normalizing beating kids again.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Beating
Dude, like-
kids
Well, not
for
beating.
the
No, let's
idea
rephrase
of
that. Not beating. Not beating. Spanking, at least. Yeah.
Spanking.
punishing your
So
kid
Ninja-
for being an idiot.
Yes.
So Ninja's like right though. I didn't know what that Ninja said that about the app. Like that's a good idea. Like there should be an app where like you as a parent at any moment can just click the app and like your kid doesn't even know, but you're just listening to like what they're saying. That would be genius. And like I don't have a kid, but like take what you're saying, like you shouldn't have your kid unsupervised for that long. I can imagine as a parent, sometimes you just want just a 3-hour break from the screaming all day.
Mhm.
And like, so what? Like when you tell your kid to go play video games, so they'll get out of your hair. Now you have to sit next to them the whole time and listen to what they say.
No, it's not
what I'm
necessarily like
Right,
that.
so okay,
Like,
so for example, right, Isaac is downstairs right now playing games, but like we have obviously like we set like a I don't want to say like a standard, but like certain things that he can and can't do. You know what I mean?
You can't
Right,
box
Like
kids
I don't
a
want him to like
fish.
be talking to strangers and then he learns words like that.
Well, of
So
course.
unless he's like if he's not playing with a friend or like family member on any game, then we usually just have him play like a single player game or something like that. And then
Right,
if he
and that's
does
good
play
parenting.
Fortnite, yeah, but like if he does play Fortnite, then Like we just don't let him use his headset.
Oh,
That
that's
way,
a good
like
idea.
so
That's supervision. Even though you're not there, it's supervised. That's what
And
a
that's what
Right.
Ninja's
supervisor is,
saying. That's what
it's
Ninja's
not
saying.
that
Like,
it's not that hard. Just hey, do this, don't do this. There
right,
you
that's
go.
what Ninja's saying. Like, it's on the parents. Like, it's parents' fault that don't do that. Like, that don't do that step
Yeah.
there.
But
Like,
the thing
my
that's even
parents
worse
never
too. It's like
supervised me. I never.
I'm a young parent, and like if I can think about that, like think of that stuff, like
Yeah, but you also have to think. Some people think it's okay to do coke. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
Vance,
everyone's.
yeah, you're
I
right.
think you
That's
benefit
true.
because you're a young parent. You've been around video games. My mother
That's a
doesn't
good
know
point.
I'm on Xbox 360 in Modern Warfare 2 lobby. She doesn't know what that is. She doesn't know
Oh,
Yeah,
the
no,
you're
no.
things
right.
that
My
are
mom would
said in
always tell me
Modern
to pause
Warfare.
the game, and I had to like show her that I couldn't pause the
She
game.
doesn't
Dude,
know
I
that
would have
men
to run in
became
front of someone, pause the game, and like the original Modern Warfare, and then like wait till a person ran across my screen to be like, see how that person's moving? She's like, yeah. And
because
I'm like, see how
honestly,
I see how my game says paused. Like
I don't think
I
we're
did have
gonna
to
have
explain it
this
to her.
issue
Pause it.
in like 40, 50 years when we're the grandparents. Because we're going to teach our kids good. They're going to teach their
Right.
kids good because we know online etiquette.
That's the thing. Like, some kids.
Johnny, what you call him? Wham!
But no, what you were saying about how like parents like don't know. Like, if my mom ever tried to ground me from a game, I would just hand her the case with no disc in it. Like, and I'll just fake cry. Here's my Call of Duty, mom. And she would leave the room. Beep. Like, turn the PlayStation back on.
I
What was that
remember
sound? Nothing. It's like, okay.
we used to have a Wii. Like I
That's
got
the microwave.
majorly addicted to my 360, but we used to have Wii. So like, if my mom got yelled at me and grounded me, she's like, "Give me your controller," and I'd hand her the Wii mode. I won't play Xbox anymore. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be on in
Exactly.
20.
Yeah, right.
Are you playing
Exactly.
Xbox? No.
Oh, you took my remote, remember? Oh yeah. Well, leave mommy alone.
Get
I'm
out of my
drinking
room! I'm
juice.
playing Minecraft.
Drinking my juice.
Oh,
Don't
man.
come in
that
here, Mom. I'm
juice.
doing heroin. So, we good to wrap this up?
I
Everybody.
think so.
I feel good. I feel good about this one.
Okay. Real quick,
My
we'd like
body's
to
ready.
do 5 to 10 minutes where anybody in the audience, or normally we do YouTube comments, but obviously with this being the first episode, we don't have prior YouTube comments. So anybody that is watching or any past YouTube comments that want to ask us questions, the floor is open to you guys.
I'm just gonna say, how's Tig gonna get food mid podcast and not ask us if we want anything?
Dude,
Hey, I didn't know it was
right?
coming. I'm shocked. I don't even know
You
what it
couldn't
is.
get me an Uber, you bitch.
It's like you just ruined the
I think-
surprise. You didn't even know there was food in there.
I think it's fried mushrooms, honestly. Let's see.
Okay, never mind. Hard pass.
I'm okay.
Oh no, yeah, you could keep those. I'll pay you to keep them.
Good. I'll take a cash or credit.
Rudy, pay the man.
Cash app.
All right.
Drop me the cash app.
444-420-6969.
Oh, nice.
I don't think that happens.
Shoot, I don't know how Cash App works. I'm young.
It's a username or the phone number.
But there's a big question I have. Vance, is Isaac at least
Yeah.
cranking 90s and boxing kids like a fish?
What?
What?
What is?
When Isaac is on Fortnite, is he getting those Costco free samples?
Are you talking about ice?
Is he boxing kids like a fish?
Is he calling him dog water?
I don't know, really. He just like so. I mean, I have him join like squads and stuff, so he
I
can
had
like
him join
so that way he has
FNCS.
teammates. But like, I don't really know. Like, I'll come downstairs and he's just like, and I don't know. He's just enjoying the scenery.
So
you know?
what I'm hearing is father son duos for a YouTube series.
Oh,
It's been done before. I can do it.
You
Time
got
to do
this.
it.
Carry. Let him carry you.
Oh yeah, I'll have him teach me how to play.
he's like, I don't have to let him carry me. He just does it.
Okay, guys.
Yo, kids be cracked at Fortnite.
Yo, kids
They
be doing
do.
crap.
I don't know how, but they like they. I feel like kids learn that game more than anything else. A lot quicker than what they used to learn, like COD and stuff back then when we were growing up.
Because that blew up.
Yo, COD was easy.
Okay, guys.
Sorry,
Thank you so
Milo,
much
I
for coming
think
out to
that.
episode 4 of the Literal Podcast. Hope you guys and fuck.
Wow.
That's one way to end it.
Fuck. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys stay safe.